Economic Affairs Committee of the Brazilian Senate unanimously approved legislation to regulate crypto assets, paving the way for votes in the upper and lower houses of Congress. On this point, it is important to take into consideration that this legislation hasn't passed yet, but if it does, the legislation will essentially give Brazil's central bank new powers to regulate the crypto asset market, which, of course, could definitely mean a pretty terrible situation for the people who are doing businesses with the different cryptocurrencies in Latin America's first economy. So, to this day, there is a pretty strong debate over how many crypto investors operate in Brazil. Some estimates suggest there are almost 4 million traders registered with cryptocurrency exchange in Brazil. So at this point, we need to remember that, many people in this situation, many economists and many political analysts in Brazil actually believe that this situation could definitely affect the prices of cryptocurrencies around the world. So this is not exactly good news for cryptocurrency, which have been dealing with a wild fluctuation since the invasion of Ukraine, since Russia decided to invade Ukraine. So this situation with Brazil only shows how the vast majority of Latin American governments remain quite skeptical of letting cryptocurrencies running free on their countries, with, of course, the only exception of El Salvador, which still remains a pretty significant mystery on whether these types of moves could eventually mean good news or bad news for the country's economy. Many people actually think that this is a pretty surprising situation, what we are talking about today about Brazil, because over the last few months, President Jair Bolsonaro has been a Latin American leader that has provided some optimistic remarks about the future of Bitcoin and the importance of cryptocurrencies. So the fact that under his government, the legislative branch decided to take this step is actually quite surprising. We're talking about something that no one expected, to the point that it was actually expected that this legislation was actually disapproved. So, of course, it remains a mystery what is going to happen, because it remains unclear whether this is going to get green light or not. However, the truth is, this is not exactly a good days for cryptocurrencies, given the fact that Brazil has decided to provide a pretty significant hit, which could have unpredictable consequences, at least in Latin America. Reporting from Medellin, Colombia, Luis Orozco, Newsweek.